I like the straightforward nature of any team compositions because the snap engage, I think, is stronger than anyone else's snap engage. If I look at VKS, maybe they can get a nice wall stun, but it looks like Inspired is probably just going to walk this one out without his flash, isn't willing to call and engage.
Honestly, great early game then for VKS, grabbing those first couple of neutral objectives as
later.
Yep, and you can see the second Trinity Force is close to being completed for the FlyQuest side here on Inspired's. Wukong on the other end, though. Kraken Slayer done for Morteos, although now the fight quad getting caught out here. The burst is down, and so is the mid laner. Morteos with the rest of VKS. A double kill.
Just want the fight, don't want the game to get out of control, but they're in river looking for a fight.
Hold on, a TP's coming in from VKS. Whippo with the flash over the wall, trying to stay alive. Disamas ready to follow here with the EQ combo. All 5 from VKS in the area now as the Herald is going to be started up, but FlyQuest is still trying to challenge. Masu fires off a couple of rockets. FlyQuest ready to full send for this. The TP's coming in as Busio's in the middle of everybody. Finds the pulverize onto 2, but Busio is going to be taken very low. Inspired finding the Cyclone onto 2 now as well. Into the fight goes Whippo. Forward with the Pathmaker. All out, all in, all the way to VKS. Heart! FlyQuest will kill all 5! And it's a quadra for Masu, 7-0 Corki!
It's looking good for FlyQuest. The teleport
because they're trying to get the Annie to teleport in. However, FlyQuest times the engage with the teleport coming in so that Vivo K-Stars
3K gold lead. That was a huge pendulum swing for Fly.
Absolutely, just like that, they're in control of the game. And that's how it always ends up feeling with these FlyQuest games, with their ability to capitalize. But now, VKS going for a flashless Corki.
Yeah, Masu's in danger. He already tried to use the Valkyrie, but Busio's here to save the day. Morteos is going to be killed first, but it's AD carry for AD carry. VKS get what they came for, but it takes a heavy toll. Boal versus Whippo off on the side here at the same time. Whippo wants a little bit more blood. He's looking for the angle, but Trimby is ready to defend his top laner. Whippo's not done yet as the blast cone can't be taken. Busio's ready to follow. He goes in, but he's ejected, but the rest of the team is not. Quad takes the kill, 7-3 FlyQuest.
Okay, how much work is Busio doing in this game? Did you see that? There, because they 2v4 are still good for 1. They go 1 for 1 on 80 carries, and then FlyQuest are able to make the rotation over into the jungle to supplement Whippo's aggression on that side, and it allows FlyQuest to chain together objectives. That's going to be the dragon for them. Disamas is trying to get something out of the enemy jungle, but there's no camps there, my friend.
And Quad slowly.
When you're looking at Whippo having the Jack Show, when you're looking at Sundered Sky Uninspired, but it's also 3 fully completed items now for Masu. As soon as he casts a couple more spells, he'll have the Muramana alongside that Spear of Shojin here too. Yes, the tier 1.
It's smart to start the Dragon here rather than the Otacon because it's a much safer objective.
And they already, you can see they did their early work getting vision, getting here super early on, so all of the approach angles are lit up.
Otacon still is the great focus here for both sides as FlyQuest will once again move into the area and start removing the vision.
I think one of the biggest differences here that we're going to see may be the difference in front lines. Whippo here is a pure tank Cassante on the front. Busio has very good positioning super far up.
They're trying to go fast.
Yeah, they're trying to just force take down the tier 1 turret, and they will find it. Otacon's still a little bit angry, making his way into the bottom lane, but now the fight breaks out. Busio goes in for the engage onto Trimby. The hero's entrance follows up, but it's not going to matter. The Poppy's already down. Busio's still alive, and FlyQuest pushes forward. Whippo goes all out. He's in the middle of 3, but he is not done. He finds the knockback onto the wall, and it's 2 kills over to FlyQuest, 3 kills over to FlyQuest, and they want even more. Busio finally dies as Inspired continues the chase. Morteos wants to get one back with the Acathian Rain, but the only thing falling are VKS bodies. Masu's on a killing spree, and FlyQuest gets so many.
And I think it's on up by Gromp. As the tower is going down and the teleports are coming in, he engages the fight, and Whippo immediately follows up too, which makes it very easy for the FlyQuest backline to just murder the rest of these VKS champions, and FlyQuest reward will be the Otacon afterwards. You thought that experience advantage was good. Now they're going to get some extra flowers and boost the power of those petals. Even bigger on him. Plus, Inspired, the most valuable player of the entirety of the LTA.
They're going for it.
Quad the flash engage. Disamas is your target. Inspired ready to jump over the wall with the clone. Second stun coming in from Quad and a bonk over the head. Jarvan's dead. FlyQuest 12 kills to 4, and now with the enemy jungler dead, the main engage out of the picture, they're going to continue going in even more. Busio, headbutt pulled there onto Bawal, but the follow-up isn't close enough. Inspired wants the Cyclone, finds it, but again, no follow-up. Morteos has the killer instinct over the wall, and Quad takes him out. Trimby's about to die now, too. Masu with a bounce forward. The big one hits, but he needs one more shot, and he finds it. Masu with yet another kill. FlyQuest, merciless with their advantage.
They are so strong right now, and they are pressing this advantage. They're going to look to take probably 2 inhibitors, maybe even more.
First inhibitor turret is down. First inhibitor down here in the bottom lane is your target. Miru tries to get away. Justice Punch interrupted. Quad doing so much damage alongside Masu. Miru's already out of the picture. Disamus respawns to drop the Cataclysm, but he can't find a kill. Boal drops again. FlyQuest have made their way onto the Nexus turrets. VKS are scrambling, but they cannot find any sort of a response. The first Nexus turret is already down, and so is the second inhibitor. FlyQuest continues to push. Trimby steps up to try to stop them. Morteos is back alive, but Trimby is dead. Disamus will join him. A double kill over to Masu. Morteos dies too. FlyQuest in this game so swiftly. 19-4. They'll slam game 1.
And just like that, they end the game. 12 kills for Masu. What an explosive ending.
And Masu will keep his undefeated Corki.
Yeah, exactly. So they wanted some more engage for themselves. FlyQuest and Vivo, neither of them lacking for engage options. So I got to ask the crowd, because I heard some loud
First
Vivo.
break didn't happen until about 11 minutes in. It was very, very slow. This time around, happening very rapidly. 6.5 minutes into the game as the bottom lane duo of Masu and Busio just keeps Morteos and Trimby busy. Disamus is in the area, but he's here too late because the Drake is already secured by Inspired and Quad working together.
And 100% able to track it there and play safe. So when they make the call, obviously Boal, is going to be alerted. So FlyQuest make the call, hey, we're just going to force this now. Bring Busio, push the wave, and go.
All right, Busio will probably be the one to start this one off here. Immediate Shield of Daybreak, point blank, can't miss it. First blood over to Bwipo.
And then the counterattack, because that was so telegraphed by FlyQuest. Masu knew it was coming. He's backed away from the turret. Rewatching this on the other side of the screen for Miru to make that escape.
Yeah, I don't see anything fishy about the teleport. There shouldn't be anything involved with that, so maybe it's something involved on the top.
Taking those down as Masu and Morteos, both just clearing waves in the mid lane, which of course is Sivir's specialty. Dragon still at about 2,000 HP as VKS is on the approach. Busio and Masu ready to try to fight them off as Quad adds extra damage. FlyQuest looked like they were seeing if maybe there was an opportunity.
So I feel like FlyQuest is going to wait for VKS to pull it, and they're the ones forcing the tempo on this play. And if they want to fight, that's when Quad's going to be teleporting in and looking for a play.
Meanwhile, Bwipo and Boal trading as they're on the top side of this skirmish. Boal loses out on the trade, but does have the honey fruits to eat to heal back up a little bit. Quad takes the bottom lane turret down below that final plate as FlyQuest are watching VKS take the Herald, and they're just deciding, okay, you can take the Herald. We're going to get the first turret down here in the bottom lane instead. So now it's 2 neutral objectives to 2, but it's first turret over to FlyQuest in the bottom lane.
Exactly, but I also loved how they kept VKS uncertain. Quad finished the wave, went into Fog of War, so that VKS had to keep 5 people committed. So FlyQuest is getting small advantages in every lane, while VKS was able to pick up that Rift Herald.
Yeah, they take the guaranteed tower now for kind of the delayed Rift Herald possibility of knocking one down, which, it would one-shot stuff like the topside tower and heavily damage the mid tower. We'll see as well about the follow-up for the feats, because that does give another objective. And 3 people top here for VKS. Busio's in there to watch as the tower does go down, though.
Yeah,
Team fight again. One of the biggest determining factors here in these Dragon fights is early access to the river. Getting vision here on this brush, and they go for it.
Oh, nice Zenith Blade over the wall there from Busio, trying to combo onto Trimby, who wants to escape with all of his spells used defensively, but he cannot make the distance. FlyQuest spent a lot to get it, though, as VKS wants a counterpunch, but they're too slow to the fight, and FlyQuest will also secure the boots on top of it.
Okay, so Herald's going to get popped down in mid. They're going to try and push mid priority first here. Busio's ult is back up and available for FlyQuest.
Okay.
Nice wall, just block the Herald.
Yep, Weaver's wall
U-turn.
says Herald has to go somewhere else. Trimby, flash engage, going after Busio, looking to get revenge for the earlier engage from the FlyQuest support. Busio's in the middle of everybody, but Inspired is ready to join. Miru has to disengage. Disamas, Bawal, and Trimby. The giant front line of VKS is ready to fight, but FlyQuest already claimed the first kill.
Big
It's
fight
a
coming.
1-for-1 here so far, as FlyQuest keeps chasing. Trimby's next to die. Busio gets away. Whipple with a kill on Miru. FlyQuest team fighting is just better. Bawal, seismic shove backwards. He flashes forward to try to kill Busio. Try as he might, he'll only die.
Really getting any work done there, so FlyQuest really kind of pulling them apart.
Yeah, winning the fight gives them feats of strength. They get the Warfare as well as first turret, but they're going for Whippo. Maybe if they get it, they can get the Otacon as well.
Yeah, Whippo's the target. Wanted to use public execution there to try to buffer through some of the CC. Doesn't get a whole lot of value out of that. Now Disamas trying to do the last little bit of damage. Dawning Shadow keeps Whippo alive long enough to make it a 1-for-1. Masu from across the map with the assist, as now Busio, Quad, and Miru are all getting involved. A 2v2 ready to go as Busio stuck here on the front line. Remember, his redemption was already used. Busio's about to drop. Masu and Inspired trying to get away from Morteos and Trimby. Busio staying alive somehow yet again. FlyQuest out kiting to stay.
But they didn't die. They just had to back away, and they'll end up getting the Drake after all is said and done.
Yeah, they are currently. Plus, there's a possible maneuver on top side. Plenty of vision for FlyQuest, seeing VKS set up around Otacon.
Okay, yeah, VKS crashing down on the Otacon now as Inspired is about to finish up Drake number 3.
Soul point.
Okay, FlyQuest are hanging around the area. VKS have the Otacon down to almost half HP now. FlyQuest on the approach. Inspired still has to walk up through the river.
That poll, 33% of people thought VKS would throw. Let's see if it's true.
Inspired versus Bawal down on the bottom side of the river, while Trimby tries to engage up here on the top side, 4v4. Disamas going to be your first target. Tries to get away here with his Xin Zhao ulti, but he's already killed. Morteos about to die second. Masu doesn't have the range to take him out just yet as Inspired, looking to maybe cut him off, but Bawal saves the rest of his team. The Otacon stayed aggroed. FlyQuest has their jungler. The Otacon is served on a silver platter to FlyQuest.
So FlyQuest does not throw at Otacon. They just emphatically put their stamp on this game. Flowers, that is now Dragon Soul point, as well as the Otacon, as well as the top tower here. The game just getting blown wide open once again in favor of FlyQuest.
Masu
Left on that clock.
Yeah, early Dragon Soul. That's what happens when Inspired's able to take that first Drake at 6 minutes. So this is another thing about the discipline of FlyQuest as they're trying to get a fight onto Busio.
Busio with a defensive solar flare onto Disamas, immediately followed up by Quad seismic shove into the unraveled earth. Means the VKS jungler is knocked down to half HP. He still has his Crescent Guard, but he was forced to use his flash to try to get away. Morteos also forced to use On the Hunt to get the extra little bit of speed to make sure that he doesn't get caught out there. So a couple of critical ultimates down now for the side of VKS. Inspired and Whippo in the enemy jungle, wanting to steal away the red buff. Disama's going to be your target. Whoa. He's taken out by Whippo. Morteos the next target as FlyQuest dives in. The Siver's under a lot of pressure. It's a double kill over to Whippo's Ambessa. Miru rooted up. Whippo wants a third, but he can't quite find the damage. He's exhausted. He wants to get away, but he does get shut down. Bawal making something happen back for VKS, but still a 2-for-1 for FlyQuest.
Big play by Whippo and Inspired. Just a little bit of an overreach at the very end, but still overall very strong, getting so many flashes out of VKS. Not only do they kill the server, they burn both the Barrier and Flash, which will not be up for the Soul fight.
Yeah, I mean, they do get their red buff there. Disamas is able to get the post 25-minute red buff.
On the side of Vivo Cade Stars, and it's on the support rel. So whoever FlyQuest jumps on, they're going to look to execute.
Keep your eyes on Trimby. Remember, that's the only real engage here for VKS if they want to try to be the ones to strike first. VKS on the rod. Busio goes in. Miru's going to be the target. They can't quite kill him off just yet, but Inspired's going in for the ulti all in. Miru's already down. Busio's still alive as Morteos is next to fall. The carries on VKS are already down. So is everyone else. Only at the cost of Busio. FlyQuest kill 4.
Perfect team fight execution by FlyQuest. We just talked about the lack of do this perfectly.
Exactly, the targeting here. Initially, they go on the Azir. Look how long that Vi ultimate is. Inspired's able to follow Miru here as he tries to disengage, and then the Sivir deleted up in the river with the other side, and Whippo tearing them apart.
And once again, it's that Senna air support coming in over the top with the Vi ulti to guarantee the kill onto Miru. And now right after they take the Dragon Soul, they'll take the Baron. 28 minutes in, double super buff for FlyQuest with an 8,500 gold lead.
Looking to win their 5th game in a row against Vivo Cade Stars. Boal trying to maybe get something back, but that's a 3-item Ambessa. He's actually wanting more.
Whippo was ready to take the fight. He missed the public execution.
That's the
but
whole
he's
team,
still
Whippo.
going in.
That's the whole team.
1 versus 5. Whippo still wants it. He does not die just yet. FlyQuest coming in. The reinforcements have arrived. Boal down to 1/3 HP. Whippo could be in a little bit of danger, but Miru doesn't find the right target. He's already dead. And VKS walked like lambs to the slaughter as FlyQuest will purge them all from bottom lane. It's another 4 for 1, and they're marching straight to the base.
Yeah, they've got Baron buff flowers. They're gonna go for the end. It's Boal versus the North.
And the North is looking ferocious. FlyQuest, they've got another minion wave coming up. They have plenty of health bars, plus a Senna to lead the charge. Only an Aatrox with no ulti has no chance to try to stop this push. Game number 1 was 19-4. Game number 2 is 18-5. FlyQuest are smacking VKS around and not wasting any time doing it. Trimby, Boal, none of them have anything to say as FlyQuest go up 2-0.
And both games ended in under 30. Execution is absolutely on Vivo Cade Stars because FlyQuest has the low engage, safe scaling comp where you need to play with a lot of discipline. I will say though,
His Doran shield and natural regeneration.
I mean, his ward ran out and Quad wants to get this next wave and he's low on mana.
Nocturne's there in the darkness.
And
Disamus coming around from the side. He sidesteps the Duskbringer, but the Fear's gonna find the target. Disamus goes in for the dive, and it's Miru with first blood thanks to an early get.
Vivo Cade Stars wants to start the Dragon Soul timer early and also get these fights. So everyone's kind of collecting in River now.
Oh man. VKS grouped up, ready to maintain
Nocturne 6
control
here.
over this Scuttle Crab. Disamus might just grab level 6 off of the Crab, and he does. Immediately engages with a Paranoia flash over the wall. Is not good enough. VKS, their assassins coming to life and taking the early lead.
Nice play for them. They got the level 6 early for Disamus. They got the Scuttle Crab, so Nocturne can follow that flash from Busio. Fires off the ultimate. They secure the kill. They already also, we kept on hyping up this mid lane advantage with the Akali being ready with the ultimate and no flash there being on quad. So it was already gonna be risky for FlyQuest to move in. I think it's just very good here for VKS to just pull the trigger, close the trap shut, get there.
Even though we just turned back into mini, it's still a pretty risky gambit to go for. But the Grubs are spawning now as we click 8 minutes. Busio just walking right into the brush. You should not be there, but VKS are happy to punish.
I love this.
Whippo.
Yeah, Disamus is sitting perfectly out of the vision of that control ward in the pixel brush. But now Morteos and Trimby are going to step forward. Disamus throwing the Dustbringer over the wall. Whippo pops an early Dominus to try to clear out the wave and build up some fury. Gets the stun onto Disamus, but it's Boal who tanks the turret. Whippo is assassinated, and VKS...
He's staying on top side just to farm it up.
Yeah, and I also think it's very important that Vivo Cade Stars get these dragons on spawn because the way they'll break this game and actually win this game.
Side lanes and continue to kind of rinse and repeat here with like Nico plays that get a little crafty.
4, 5, 6, 7.
He flashes forward for the Pop Blossom. Miru dives in right after. Quad's got to know there's no way home except in a body bag. Keep your eyes on Masu though. He is all alone. There are no teammates near him right now. If anybody else from VKS jumps on him, Disamus can immediately follow it up, but no. FlyQuest, they have conceded the bottom side river to VKS. It is all 5 Vivo Cade Stars players, and this third Drake of the game will go down. They will secure the feats of monster slaying with that one, but topside, Quad is just trying to get the first turret of the game. This tier 1 top still has a little bit of HP left. Quad needs to push the wave as fast as he can. Miru is making his way up towards the top side. The Grubs might at least come in useful here for a little bit. Boal with his Trinity Force chasing after Whippo does find a lot of good damage there, but Whippo gets away to safety in enough time to not be killed. First turret over to FlyQuest.
But they actually have to like approach here from a dangerous scenario.
Yeah, I do think this is where FlyQuest does make their stand though. If you look at the core items on Everyone.
Ooh, Inspired wanted to get in there, find that E-stall impact onto Miru, but now Desamas is ready to turn it around into a full-on 2v2. Desamas and Miru. It's only Miru pulled back by the Impale. The Nocturne damage is absolutely massive. Inspired on the Skarner, can't finish any of these kills. It's a 6-0 game favoring VKS. Busio tries to get away. Masu firing off Mystic Shot, but the clone is going to block them all. Miru now going after Masu, who steps forward after the Akali, flashing back over the smoke, trying to make a little bit of distance. The curtain call fires off and Masu flashes back over the wall, but Inspired's not going to do the same. Boal takes the kill. VKS, 3-0 fight. 8-0. A whole lot. This Akali with Shadow Flame, upgraded Sorcerer's Shoes, and the Hextech Rocket Belt is so powerful. Anybody he finds with his explosive burst is under so much threat.
And you can tell, they think it's going to be on Masu. They've got the Knight's Vow from Inspired on Masu. They're going to try and do everything they can to keep the Ezreal alive. VKS, they're burning it down, though.
Here we go, immediately.
They're on
targeting
Masu.
onto FlyQuest. Masu's going to be your target. He's not quite dead yet, but there he goes. FlyQuest bottom lane already down. And VKS have found exactly what they're looking for. Quad's the next to die. A double kill for Miru. Inspired, blasted back over the wall. Blasted straight to hell. VKS 12-0.
They get everything they want and more. Masu was already flashless and barrierless, so when they can get the flank, it is lights out for him. They get the fight, they get the soul, they're gonna get the Otacon, and that is gonna make the Baron and the game likely indefensible for FlyQuest.
And we're seeing it. VKS, the #1 seed from the South, when they are faced with their last must-win game here, they are clutching up.
I mean, I believe it was Sven on the desk who held up the sign that said, "Make it chaotic" for the VKS win condition.
You could see their split one was so atrocious, finishing after just a couple of best of threes, and then with winning split 3, and then even coming into these playoffs, getting 3-0'd by FlyQuest at first, and now bouncing back to this game after losing the first 5 games, they're not a team that quits.
Yeah, Miru killed Busio before you finished your sentence. That was not even remotely close. And now a beautiful double root into a double pop blossom into a double kill. Desamas unstoppable for the icing on the cake. VKS, with their backs against a wall in a must-win game, might just shut out FlyQuest in Game 3.
And we were talking about it from the draft. The burden of execution was on Vivo Stars, and they have stood up to that challenge. They did not play passively. They have found the windows to punish FlyQuest, and they are on top of the Baron.
Trymbi targeted here by Bwipo. The shutdown goes over to the FlyQuest top laner at 27 minutes into the game. I wouldn't want to deal with Infinity Edge Jhin either.
And Chovy, I like your point here about FlyQuest coming back for more, because logically this game is toast.
Oh, there we go. Speaking of toast, it looks like FlyQuest is also that once again. Inspired, though,
dead again.
Turning it around onto Trymbi. He'll at least make it a 1-for-1 with himself. Desamas continuing to try to go forward. The root onto Masu doesn't hit, but the curtain call does. That mosquito's biting. It's a double kill for Morteos.
All right, they should go on over to the Baron. FlyQuest have no smite. Inspired is also down. So that should be Baron for VKS, and that is the tool that these types of comps can really use to actually close the door, take a bunch of these towers that are still standing on the map.
And it's likely going to be Baron 50 seconds or 40 seconds before the Elder Dragon spawn. You mentioned, like, my brain is saying this game's completely over, but FlyQuest does have an aura, right? They've won 80% of their games domestically. They have come back from massive deficits. I feel like any other team in the LTA, like, we're already heading off to Game 4, but FlyQuest, you never quite know if you've beaten them until the Nexus falls.
I don't know, man. I'm about the 3,500 gold lead for Desamas in the jungle up against the player of the year, making this look easy in the Nocturne versus Skarner matchup as FlyQuest. They know that Elder is their last chance. The great equalizer is the only way to come back into the game. Desamas tries to fly in. FlyQuest is separated. Inspired only locks up the enemy jungler as Bwipo tries to duel with Miru.
Shockwave!
3-man shockwave, but it's not enough. Not when you're this far behind. Pop Blossom ready to follow it up. FlyQuest, try as they might, say goodnight. It's an ace for nothing. VKS.
The Vivo Stars are gonna push push us to a Game 4 in this series. They stand up, and they're going to take this one.
They saw the 19-4 in game number 1, the 18-5 in game number 2, but the most impressive score of the series is 22-2 here in game number 3. The LTA South will rise to meet the challenge, and VKS find their way onto the Nexus. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a series on our hands.
And only a couple minutes longer than the 2 FlyQuest victories. This is a dominant performance.
So I'm expecting a pretty bloody game around objectives here.
Emily, do you think it ends with this game?
I mean, this is a competition that I feel like FlyQuest can pilot really well.
Remember that in games 2 and 3, the first Drake was taken rather quickly. In game number 1, it was very slow. This one's not quite going to be as slow as game number 1, but it is still not going to be a soul rush type of game. FlyQuest is taking the Dragon. They're going to secure Drake number 2 and the feats of monster slaying.
This is great for them, buying time with that fight mid lane. Quad then extending the tempo lead. Not to mention they don't even have to trade this.
Ready to do so.
This is a game 4 that feels like a game 5 with no kills yet at 17.5 minutes. But now Inspired and Bwipo are going in after Boal. They immediately mark him with the Fear Beyond Death. Twisted Advance ready to follow it up. Into the grinder he goes. First blood for Bwipo.
And this turret is going to allow them to get feats of strength. The 2 Drakes, the 2 Grubs, and the turret. I love how this game has felt so tense, as that is the first kill at 17 minutes.
Desamas coming down now, going to find Bwipo at the Krugs, but this is not a fight you want to take. Heartbreaker to safety, and Bwipo's not done.
Strong.
He's in a 1v2, and he likes the odds. Bwipo, so powerful here on the Urgot, now goes in for the disdain, point blank, but he doesn't have the damage. Bwipo overplays his hand and falls.
He flashed in because there was a third on the way. Let's see what FlyQuest can do with that pressure. Yes, he does go too far, but that was essentially 4 people that were drawn bot. Boal, who was killed, and the 3 who eventually killed Bwipo. So they kill top turret with Quad, and they start the Rift Herald, but likely have to back away.
Yeah, Bwipo he's got no flash, and because of the death timer, they're going to be late on this Rift Herald attempt.
Okay, Herald secured by VKS. Feeling good about that one, as Inspired has to try to get away. Busio with a Tempered Fate, buying some time for the team. VKS now on the run, as Inspired's ulti flies out. Boal again, locked up with a Fear Beyond Death. The culling comes through. Miru's gonna be the target here. Masu flies in, he's going way far. Bwipo takes Boal out, and Masu stays alive. Desamas goes in for the first reset, but what else can he do? He dies, a double kill for Bwipo, and FlyQuest get a 2 for 1. Compared to the split map, as Miru steps up, and level 13 Bwipo with those maxed out shotgun knees is waiting in the brush. Miru already using the weirding. Bwipo tries to go in. Otacon gets aggroed. Fear Beyond Death finds Miru, but where's the rest of the damage? They gotta try to take him low, and he's down. Busio gets the kill. Trimby's gotta try to get away, and FlyQuest go for the Tempered Fate. Desamas, beautiful disengage there with a Heartbreaker, but now Boal's gotta be careful. FlyQuest looking for the Jax.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to go. He's in the alcove. He is trapped by FlyQuest.
Bramble smash to slow him down immediately with a Twisted Advance. Boal is the target, but where's the rest of the damage to take him out? Quad finally arrives, picks up the kill, but the Rift Herald is summoned up here in the mid lane.
And Otacon is going to be FlyQuest. It's about what VKS can get on the other side. They've just given that away, knowing their 2 soul laners are dead, but they crashed the Rift Herald mid, and they're likely going to delay this soul unless Bwipo's feeling it. He's got a huge gold lead on this Urgot, and he's going in with Busio.
He's got Busio next to him, 4,000 HP here for the Drake. Bwipo steps up, but a TP's coming in for VKS. They're putting the damage into Bwipo, but he and Busio want to go on a magical journey away.
That's one.
Trimby's first to die. Bwipo's in a killing spree, but it'll be traded 1 for 1. The Dragon will lose its patience and head back home. Now Inspired's in the area, but there's nobody else that can show up in time.
He has ult. Do they want to go for a long play? They do.
Here comes the ulti. Inspired and Busio still around. Inspired walks up, but no, it is secured by Desamas. Quad has arrived. Is there any bit of cleanup? Inspired with a Twisted Advance. Busio's Tempered Fate. It stuns them both out as Desamas falls, and so does Inspired. Another kill goes over. Miru is down, and FlyQuest have taken the Otacon. Lost the...
That this game is going to be decided by Bwipo. He's going to do something chaotic that Vivo K-Stars is going to try and counter, and that's going to be the thing that advances the game. It's that or the Dragon Soul, but but with how confident Bwipo is, I think we're going to see Bwipo play first.
Okay, he goes in for a Q. Immediately, Disdain onto Trimby, chasing after the Vivo K-Star's support. Bwipo leads the charge. Busio coming up behind him. Now FlyQuest looking to send in the whole team. Desamas could be in danger as the Maokai ulti swoops through. Trimby is already dead. Morteos follows too. Tempered Fate is not required as VKS's jungle is a graveyard for Brazil.
As soon as he gets Sterix Gage, you know he is throwing himself into the enemy team, and now FlyQuest will throw themselves at a free Baron in the aftermath.
And they can't relax here. They're trying to play off this power spike. Busio and Quad are going to go for turret and a kill.
Here comes the Realm Warp. Miru, he shows up in time to at least try to cover a little bit for Bawal, but the bottom lane tier 2 dies as Baron is claimed, and the FlyQuest gold...
Just try and make a cross-map play, pick up an objective bounty if you possibly can.
Quad's Rod of Ages is now fully evolved. He is level 18, and nobody else in the game is even level 17. He has a fully completed Zhonya's Hourglass. This Rise is an absolute raid boss alongside Bwipo in the top lane, who is 3,000 gold ahead. And Busio's Bard, who we brought up at the beginning, is also very far ahead, but the raid boss might just get shut down. Quad trying to wait as long as he can. Ooh. He hasn't even used his Zhonya's yet, and they're just dropping bodies here in the top lane. Quad finally using that Zhonya's and the Tempered Fate to perfectly keep him alive. The flash of the wall. Quad still alive. Finally shut down by Morteos. Inspired and Bwipo looking to get a little bit more back as Miru and Morteos try to escape. Inspired keeps pushing forward.
And Masu's ending the game.
Masu's ending the game at the same time. Lucian's in the base with a Baron.
They could win right here.
Miru and Morteos cannot get away. Miru tries to channel his recall. Bwipo is still chasing. Morteos trying to kite it out. Trimby finally back alive. Masu's got another minion wave coming up. FlyQuest will not end yet.
Quad Missile almost comes early right there, and they're still chasing down the delayed kill onto Morteos, just toying with the making sure his respawn is as late as possible so they can continue to take advantages with this Baron. What a sequence.
Yeah, the series to end this game. I think that the South and VKS should be very proud of the year that they have had, especially, with their international showing at MSI. This has been, the best year for Brazil in a very, very long time.
Yeah, absolutely. With split 1 going 8 games to 1 for the North, this split has been 14 games to 7, and it's a big fight here.
Inspired is the target. He's taken down before anybody can save him as FlyQuest swoops in to try to get something back. But VKS are defending themselves. Everybody on FlyQuest very low. Whipple's on a rampage though, and VKS are collapsing. Morteos cannot find the damage. Desamas, the only one left alive.
That might be it.
Quad, Masu, and Busio. FlyQuest pushing forward, looking for the end of the game. Quad is low, but he can recall and teleport back in for the game-ending push. Desamas has to survive alone.
They're going to have supers crashing from the other side as well, so they want to end right here.
Desamas about to die. FlyQuest onto the first Nexus turret. They have been the best team in the North all year long. They have conquered the best team in the South twice in a row. Let there be no doubt. They are the best